Hello everybody. This is a very exciting time in our lives. We have now reached our final module to this amazing Learn to Self-Heal online and at home. And here we are. So I am so excited to be teaching this one because we've been through this journey together, and this is a really big subject. And in all honesty, I think all these steps, all these modules have been leading up to this one in particular. So there's a lot for me to teach you. As always, I'm a fountain of knowledge. But other than that, having your attention for this very, very special module is crucial. And some of you are joining me who have learned nothing about this, don't know anything about it. You might think it's quite religious. Some of you might be wary of it and had connections to this subject. But revealing the title of our subject today, we learn about the soul. Ooh. So as a quick recap, those of you that have been with me throughout the journey, and please don't worry if you're watching this one and you haven't seen the other modules, like I always say, there's a reason why you've come to watch this one before, because you're meant to be watching this one right now. So hopefully I'm grabbing your attention for it. But just a quick recap, module number 1, when you first joined me. And the reason I wanted to recap this is to let you know why I've written it in order, why it had to be written this way. And again, you could call it a coincidence or not a coincidence. There are 7 different energy centers inside of our physical bodies. This is what's taught to us in holistic healing and with yoga, and it's I would say it's like a spiritual reference, an energetic reference inside the body. And I've written 7 different modules which actually link coincidentally with these 7 chakras. And it wasn't actually intentional when I was first writing this course. So it's probably been channeling through me again. So module number 1, we did energy. So this was me teaching you the foundations about healing, learning to self-heal. So energy is crucial to understand it on some level because you use it as a tool. The more you have awareness of this stuff, the more it's going to work for you. It links so strongly with your mind. Module number 2, the following week, we did intent, power behind the intent and power behind your mind, which is really, really efficient with your self-healing. So if there's something inside you physically that you want to heal, whether that's physically, whether that's emotionally, whether that's mentally, whether it's trying to connect spiritually, feeling a bit lost, anything, energy is going to flow to where your attention goes. So your intent behind it is what's going to be powerful, which then led us on to module number 3, believe. Believe behind it, and it is so strong when you bring this belief system behind it. There's one thing saying, well, actually, I'm going to sit and relax. You might sit down and meditate. That could be an example for you. But if you sit down and set the intent, I am going to heal in these 2 to 3 minutes because my lower back pain is really giving me jip today and I need to do something about it. Duly note. So doing something about it is an excellent energy to pull into your body because it's a positive energy. It means you want to change the direction of something. And then putting the intent behind it makes it even more powerful. Believing what you're doing is going to help. It just magnitudes it. I can't even put into words how much it magnifies the help that will come your way. Okay. Then we went on to module number 4, and that was intuition. So that was down to your third eye awareness, this little spot here, and that's the ability to see what your physical eyes cannot see. So I wanted to introduce that one round about on week number 4, or as your 4th module, because it was to give you a bit of practice. And this one was coming into channeling. I was talking about the pineal gland and things like that. It was also about heading into finding that sort of sign that's going to work for you as well, which also follows on later on in the course as well. But then it links strongly to module number 5 because we try to connect with the intuition, but if we're finding there's blockages and we can't quite get there, then it linked directly to the following module, which was purification. Purification meaning a cleansing of your physical body, but also cleansing energetically. So actually we did do a cleansing into the intuitive module because we needed to cleanse the channels in your energy, which is going to be a link to the other side, so to speak, or the idea of guides trying to channel and connect through you, through this sort of brain wave. Coming into the physical cleansing afterwards, so we cleanse into the mind, then we cleanse into the physical body. And when you're going through this purification, when you're sort of making this effort to cleanse on a way, not on a level meaning, try not to understand thinking like you're a dirty human being. I don't mean it on that level, like physical dirt on your skin and things like that. Yes, we do cleanse that away, but that's just a natural thing we do. Instinctively, we want to wash ourselves, we want to smell nice and things like that, but actually the routine of cleansing is a way of access to purer things. So I will come on back to that point in a second, because that does link very strongly with the soul. So module number 6, which was last week, oh my goodness. Did you see the orbs going crazy on the video? I actually went back and rewatched it. Every time an orb showed itself up on the screen, I actually typed down the sentence that I was saying at the time. 12 times orbs went flying across the screen. So there were these 12 distinct sentences that I said, which I can only assume were the sort of pinnacles in the conversation that needed to be channeled to you to understand. Okay, so if you were involved in the whole hour with me, then it was flyingly amazing. But also, if you didn't have time to watch it, then just check out, even if you did, check out those sentences that coincide. And that was, I tell you what, guys, that was so special for me to go back and watch that, because I thought, my God, this is really happening. These guides are working with us. They're actually channeling through these modules. So it really brought a tear to my eye. I'm feeling so honoured to be here, and honoured to be potentially your or one of your guides here. So connecting to guides, the purification became so crucial before that, because the more we're working into that routine, that sort of that cleansing routine, the more access they have to get in. And it is exactly the same thing. If you see a dusty window pane or a dirty window pane, you can't see through it very well. You can kind of see it, but you can't really see it. The moment you actually apply a bit of polish or a bit of your breath on there and you wipe it away, you see much more clearly. You see what's on the other side. Exactly the same principle when it comes to connecting with the other side, connecting with your higher self, connecting with guides. You just need to do a little bit of cleansing to get this muck out the way, and whether that's physically on a level like in your bathroom routine, so I gave you some excellent purification techniques, whether you practice them or not, it doesn't matter. You've got them there if you want to. If you want more access to the other side, just have a play with that stuff. And then on an internal level, yes, we can work on the diet, we can work on what we're breathing in, the fresh air, so to speak. You can work on what you're bringing into your diet. That all counts as well. So the lighter vibration that you're eating, such as vegetables and drinking lots of water, it makes sense, guys. This is stuff that you already know. But that lighter system inside your body, again, creates more space for the spirituality to come through, but also on an energetic level. So when we did that meditation for cleansing into the mind on our intuitive module, that was really, really good. You're clearing out muck on the glass, so to speak. So that's a metaphor in regards to your energy inside the body. So on that level, when we have these physical limitations or emotional limitations, again, you can actually see this as mud on that screen, as a dusty windscreen. And you just got to cleanse it away. It's just a way of the ego trying to get in the way. And on that note, your ego will always steer you away from spirituality. Always. The ego has a way of bringing you down to earth, but not in a way that's going to serve a purpose for you. So ego thoughts can be things such as, well, I don't really believe it. I'll see it and then I'll believe it. Oh, okay, well, if you want to see it and you believe it, then watch last week's module. That's what lovely. Do you know what? That's why that made that module so special, because I'm like, there it is. There's the physical proof. Oh, what a blessing. But it's closed-mindedness. It's not being open-minded. It's not being open to different teachings or holistic ways, or trying something different, trying something natural first before potentially going down the route. Potentially with medicine, like potentially it's going to be each to every with your own situation there, but this is a natural way of trying first, and it is so powerful. So when I'm talking about the soul, and this is going to be my impression, this is my understanding through meditation, through channeling, through healing, through working with people. This is my experience, and this is my attempt to convey it to you to understand. So, here we go. I have my little notes here. I'm a little bit flushed actually. A bit flushed today. It must be, there's some excited channeling coming on. Okay. The soul is the ultimate intimate connection. The soul is part of you, and a lot of the impressions we get of the soul would be, when you die, you live on forever. This soul sort of comes up out of your body, it rises up, and then it goes up into the light. And lives on forever. And that's a really nice way. I don't think there's anything wrong with that impression. I think that's really rather lovely. However, the idea of connecting to the soul, I think, is crucial when you're alive. When you're here and now. Not when you're dead, when you're here and now. So my understanding is, I have this impression, and this is a vision that comes to me, and it works for me, so it might work for you. So I have this envision, and I picture it outer space. So this is how my brain is trying to fathom, because the soul doesn't actually have a brain. Like, to actually come into our brain, it's very, very hard. It's a different plane. It's a different vibration. But I'm going to give it a go. So I picture it, this sort of floating mass of stars, or like a galaxy by itself, or a planet, so to speak. Let's go with a star. A star sounds nice. So this star is sitting out of space, and it is you. It's your soul. And it has this imaginary cord, or this see-through transparent cord, bing, going right the way across the universe to planet Earth. To you, on planet Earth, okay? And this connection doesn't fade in your lifetime, okay? So this is a life cord, and this is your length of time on planet Earth. And this is going to get a bit woo-woo, you guys. I'm really going to try and expand your awareness to go way outside planet Earth. Not so much aliens. You can think about that if you want to. But this does kind of tie in. I'm going to tell you some theories that I have which are fascinating, okay? So this star, your soul, is connected to your physical body. Now, last week I was talking about the idea of a guardian angel. So I got this from an author called Lorna Byrne, and she writes a book called Angels in My Head. So long story short, she sees angels, and the angels have submitted her to now write books to tell us about them and what they look like and what they do and things like that. It's beautiful, beautiful words. So she says, or the angels say, you have a guardian angel. Don't worry if you don't resonate with angels. Just go with me on this one, whether it's your sign, whether it's another sort of being. Something is with you that's helping you, basically. And this thing is responsible for your star. It's responsible that this stays healthy, okay? So your soul is this star that wants to continually upgrade. Work with me on this one, okay? Let's say the idea of God, divine light, inner white light being, whatever you want to call it, this sort of source of creation, shall we call it? Because we know that the universe is created, right? We know that planet Earth was created. Whether you want to go along the lines of Big Bang, it was created, okay? So let's go with, and I want to work with a scale here, and this is going up and down. to make it nice and easy. Let's say, and I'm just going to use these, I'm going to borrow these words so you resonate with what I'm trying to put across here. Let's say God, or the idea of God, is up here. The highest peak you can possibly go. The highest vibration, the highest frequency. God. We, on planet Earth, you looking at me right now, we are like way down here, right at the bottom scale, okay? Your soul, depending on your individual journey, is going to be somewhere in between, okay? Now, the idea and the journey of your soul is to upgrade as often as possible. So it's going to work through the vibrations and the frequencies. So your guides and spirits are a high vibration. They're either created by God or they're somewhere up there. They're sort of working to upgrade themselves as well. But as a life purpose, they work on serving us as well. So they work for souls and they help souls. Keep staying with me here, you guys, because I've got more to talk about. Again, this could just be a theory, but this is my understanding. And it's big. It's big. Okay, so I'm really getting your minds to expand outside of planet Earth, because then it makes things, really small and trivial things in your physical life right now, really seem trivial, because you then look at things on a much bigger scale. How is this day going to serve my soul purpose? Whew. I mean, don't go and say that to your boss. I don't know what kind of conversation you might have after that, but stay with me on this one, okay? So we've got God up here, we've got your physical being down here, your soul is somewhere in between, and when you pass over, yes, the idea of that soul rising up out of the body, we'll go with that for now, but you sort of come back to the star, your soul, and then you're going to decide what lessons you've learnt on that physical lifetime. Okay, now I'm going to connect to the idea of a library. This is something that was channeled through me, and this is something which other people read in other books. When I said it to other people, they said, oh my God, I read that in another book, and oh, I read this in another book. This library is familiar amongst the sort of spiritual talk, so to speak. So the idea is, and this also really, listen up guys, this really helped me. My nan passed away last year, we're in 2017. She passed away about 8 months ago. She actually passed away the day I moved into my house, my new house, which was right by her nursing home. Anyway, that's another coincidence story you can ask me about, good one. Now this really helped me through the mourning process. So this module is going to be huge, okay? It really helped me to smile throughout the entire process. And I'm really close with my nan, really close. And I smiled the whole way through. Just by thinking about these things, by understanding things on a different level and actually understanding that the other side is so beautiful. I was just overwhelmed with joy. And this is a true story. The day that my nan passed away, my mum was with me, and it was her mum, so it's a big deal, you know, your mum passes away, and she's crying. And so I got up to her and I said, oh, yeah, what's happened? And she said, oh, Nanny just passed away. And I'm not joking, I grabbed Mum's hand, and I smiled, and I had these tears strolling down my face, but I was smiling with joy, and I said, oh, Mum, how fantastic! That's such good news! Oh, blimey, you guys. I tell you what, if you get a chance to hang around with me, hang around with me. Anyway, I don't mean to laugh at the situation, but it was so joyful to me, and that came so instinctively, it came so naturally for me to react that way. And I can look back and think, oh my God, Mum, I'm so sorry that I did that. But the reason why is because I was thinking so much about the other side and what a journey she's going to go through. The journey being this. So, when you pass over, again, this is the idea and the impression I get, your guardian angel, or if you don't like that idea, a being that resonates with you, that sticks by your soul, because its job is to stay right by it, and it won't leave it, you work together. It collects the physical part of your soul, and it brings it back to the main part of your soul, to the star, or to God, however you want to sort of see it. But the idea is you're brought back here and you sit down at a library, massive library, and this library is the existence of your soul. Pages and books and all galore everywhere. And you sit down at a table, so to speak, or a universal table, whatever that might be, I don't know. And you go through and you look at this physical lifetime. Okay, my name is Joan Ellen White, and that was my nan. I lived for 94 years, and this is what I learned. So she goes through the entire thing, the guardian angel has sat down with them, and then they decide. You can also manifest into these different layers. I'm sorry if I'm really going big here, you guys, but I'm just so excited about this subject, to talk about this. I don't get much opportunity to talk about this. Okay, so you sit down, you go through what you've learnt in that life process, and you decide whether to come back or not. And the majority of you do, and this is where I think, well, it's not just planet Earth as an option. There must be trillions, billions, trillions, gazillions of different options to go for. I mean, really expand your mind, not just to what science has proved. Science can't even prove what exists out there. We've got an ideal, we've got these inklings about it. We know about our solar system, and we're aware that the probability of there being other solar systems is extraordinarily high. So this is me thinking, gosh, you've got so many other options to go for to learn something. Something that's going to serve a soul purpose to grow. Now, often we can go through really, really traumatic experiences, and it's been channeled through me to say as well that planet Earth is actually a big challenge planet. It's something which we learn quite a lot. We upgrade on quite a big scale from having an existence on planet Earth because there's so much going on. And depending on what era you manifest there as well. I'm not going to go into that too much. Sorry guys, stay with me. But on planet Earth, it's a big one to choose to be on. For this existence. So this is why every single breath really, really counts, guys. It really does. Every day counts. If you're learning, that's the best thing you can do, okay? So you can decide whether to go back or choose a different planet or whatever. There's also these lovely different healing realms, so these different vibrations. And I think I've heard somebody say this to me somewhere. I can't even think. But I remember coming across this when I was healing somebody, and I felt like I connected to their soul on a level. And there's a huge respect energy up there. Like you don't mess with this sort of stuff. You don't take the piss, so to speak. So if I'm going to communicate with a soul, I need the permission of that soul to communicate, if that makes sense. And there was a healing moment where I did connect with a soul. I've had the privilege of this a few times with clients, and I deposited them in a vibration. I deposited them in a realm, so to speak. And I just pictured it like an open field and the sun shining, it's a warm breeze, and they either just sit down in the grass and play with the grass, or they go for a walk and a stroll, and there's landscape, like it's beautiful and it's healing. It's a complete sanctuary zone that I deposit them in whilst I work on their physical body, if that makes sense. And these realms exist. So if you, for example, have had a really traumatic life, so to speak, there's some areas that you feel like, for example, if you're sat down at that library and you're thinking, oh my God, I'm not going back to planet Earth, that was a horrendous life, my goodness, this and this happened, then you can actually have the option to go into a healing realm and stay there for as long, for eternity, for billions of years. Like it's expand your mind to this idea, you guys. Are we all still out there? You guys haven't left me, have you? Because this is a big topic, and I can just talk and talk and talk and talk and talk about it because I just find it so exciting. It keeps me alive. This is literally the module for vitality, to feel this bubbling in your blood on the most healthy level possible. Where is this relevant to us healing right now? I think I can hear some questions coming through. So connecting to the soul, because it's at such a higher vibration, it is you, it's part of you, it's inside you, it's outside you, it's everything, we won't go into, everything is all one, the circle of life. It's all very relevant, this stuff, but my God, like I say, I need another module for that. But the vibration that your soul lives at and breathes at, so to speak, is a high frequency. And when we're dealing with anything that's a high frequency, it makes us feel good. It makes us feel happy and healthy. Now, throughout this whole course, I've been talking and trying to hammer into you, coming to the idea of this library. I mean, it's absolutely fascinating. This is one of the things that's going to help you. This is one of the things that's going to help you get up in the morning. This is one of the things that's going to help you deal with crap things that come across your path and really think, actually, no, I can picture myself sat down at this library. So as an example, somebody, a physical lifetime or 50 years on planet Earth, they could learn patience. So there's these big epic words. They could learn love. They could learn forgiveness. Big emotional things to go through, and the more you put it into practice, the more your soul is going to upgrade and lift. Okay? And it's like, why did my soul choose for me to be here now, right now, as I am right now? Like, why am I here? What is my soul purpose? Soul purpose is a really, really big subject, because we can often feel like lost souls. And I'm sure many of you are resonating with what I'm talking about here. When I say lost souls, a lack of purpose, lonely, bored, tired, this monotone feeling, okay, this kind of vibration. You kind of think, well, if I was plugged into the monitor, I think it would just be a straight line, yeah? That sort of monotone feeling. And it's just getting lost. It's losing your connection to your soul. It just means that window pane has gone mighty, mighty dusty, and you just cannot see through it. You cannot see through it at all. So, my idea, metaphorically speaking, is to get your sleeve out and give it a good rub. Whether that's you doing a little bit of meditation, whether that's you coming into those purification techniques that I was teaching you about, whether that's doing a bit of yoga, or whether that's you going for a walk amongst nature. Nature is a really, really lovely link to connecting to spirituality. Hundreds of thousands of books talk about this. All spirituality books talk about this. Get amongst nature as often as possible. It's almost like the gift from God, or the gift from the divine light, or the gift from creation. It's the gift to you that is accessible, because it is. It's on your planet. You can get there. It's probably in your country. It is accessible for you, and when you walk amongst nature, it does something to you. It really, really does. I mean, honestly thinking and speaking, not everybody lives in the countryside, not everybody has a dog, for example, but my example is, whenever I go out for a dog walk with Basil, my beagle, when you've had a dog for a while, there are definitely days where you think, oh, I've got to take the dog out. It's raining, it's cloudy, it's crap. Oh, but I have to do it, it's a chore. So I clip on the lead, and I put on the wellies, and I put on the layers, and I put on a hood, and this, that, and the other, and gloves, and have you got this, and you've got your socks for your wellies. Like, there's a routine, right? Exactly the same thing with your cleansing routine in the morning. There's a routine for me going out with dog walking. 100% of the time, I never return from a dog walk not feeling good. Never. Never. Even if I was in the foulest mood, there's something about getting myself out of the house, walking amongst nature, or getting out into fresh air and coming into whatever zone that is, whether it's a walking meditation, whether I'm listening to an audio book, which is 90% of my living at the moment, or songs I listen to, or sometimes I don't listen to anything, listening to the birds. It's really, really crucial. Those of you that live in the city, just getting out and walking around, sitting in coffee shops and watching people, like, that is lovely. I love doing that in the city, but something that's going to take you away from what your traditional routine of your day is. So let's say work, for example, or hanging out with the kids all day long. Come away from what you think you should be doing and step outside to nature. I mean, there's nature in the cities, you guys. It's there. It's the air you breathe. It's the clouds in the sky. It's the sunshine. It's the moon. It's the rain. That's nature. Like I say, you don't have to be in a field to be amongst nature. It's just outdoors. So they say when you're connecting to that which is on a tap for you, it has a way of connecting to your soul. Okay. I'd like to talk a little bit about past lives, and this is, a lot of you might have heard about this. It is kind of relevant to the idea of that library I was talking about. So if you were, for example, if you can picture yourself in that library and you go, I'm going to pull out 1600 AD. What was I here? Oh, I was a soldier that did this, that and the other. Or I was a monk or whatever. And this is another thing, you know what you were. You can actually hire people to do past life regression. That basically means you can hire somebody to, you have an appointment that a person trains you to find out who you were and what you learnt in that lifetime, which is crucial for your soul development. It does serve a purpose because sometimes, and I've read about this and experienced it as well, there are times when a lifetime can be so traumatic that sometimes the energy that's bad actually carries through into the reincarnation, so to speak. So you can have ways of clearing that energy. You can go to appointments for that. You can actually do it at home, you guys. This is what this course is about. You can actually self-heal without hiring somebody. I mean, I think investing in your well-being is just the best investment you can do. But you can do this yourself. You can if you want to. And the idea would be just through meditation, just through your imagination. Even me telling you the idea, if you sat down at a library with your guardian angel sat right next to you, opposite you, and you go, yeah, I didn't really learn too much about that. That was a really big pinnacle moment in my life. And that's a really good exercise to do as well. Which actually, yeah, I'm going to come into that. Yep, I'm going to totally channel and come into that. I'm sure that's popped into my brain for a reason. If you've got a pen and paper, great. If you want to minimise me, this video to the side or whatever, but I just want you to listen in. But pinnacle moments, and they happen for a reason. So let's go to your earliest memory of something really big that happened. And this could be something so exciting, like can you remember your first Christmas? Or can you have a memory of Christmas, for those of you that find it exciting, or those of you who have found it exciting, can you actually remember like a pinnacle moment Christmas, or the first one you can remember, what it was like? So this would have been a big subject in your life. So if there's sort of pinpoints along your timeline, this timeline, your physical Earth timeline, this lifetime, it's important to look into that, because that's a really good exercise to see where you might have been at that table, at that library, choosing this lifetime, saying, okay, so let's throw in that scenario, get out the cauldron of being an orphan, let's get out the cauldron of choosing something else. I can't think off the top of my head right now, but these sort of what seem like hard, challenging subjects that you go through, in a way, they've been chosen for you. And this is a really, really big one, because a lot of people, and I understand this, a lot of people can get really offended by this, thinking, oh, I chose to have cancer? Whoa, hold up, guys, hold up, breathe through this one, because I get asked this a lot, okay? Breathe through this. Sometimes it takes a really big thing to happen in your life for your soul to go, wake up, come on, connect with me, let's get through this. So, and I see this on our planet, obviously, all the time. There's lots of negative things going on, but that's not going to help you move forward if you stay in the negative energy, guys. You're aware of this. We've talked about this in our last modules. So what can you do about it? And that always, I can feel this question coming through me right now from this other side. What can you do about this? What can you do to help What can you do about this? So just write that question down. What can I do about this to move forward? So if there's something really big in your life right now, like an illness, like an injury, like a relationship trouble, write it down and think, why did my soul choose for this to happen? Me. I chose this. I chose for this to happen because I wanted to learn about healing. I wanted to learn about patience. I wanted to learn about strength. Whatever it is that's going to help you grow, that's going to help your soul go bing up the elevator again, brilliant. I mean, that's just fantastic. The sooner you learn it, the better, and the more peaceful you'll find life starts to become. And understand this, coming back to the idea of the universe, when I was speaking about the universe, and it has your back, whatever you put in and out there, whatever way you serve a purpose towards your soul, the universe rewards you constantly. And you begin to spot the way the universe rewards you. And when you change your perspective on things, it changes your life. It changes absolutely everything. Peace, love, joy. That is what that star is up in the sky. Your soul, it is peace, love and joy. That is the connection that I'm talking about, that deep inner strength inside you. So whether you like the idea of me talking about this star up in the sky, you might feel it as a star inside of your heart and your chest. Probably both, right? Whatever's working, there's some sort of connection here. But you are ultimately peace, love and joy. This is how you were born. And then the external environment, the energies, is what changes you and warps you into other things, okay? You're starting to get it. See why I had to come to this subject of the soul. It really tallies up the whole of this course. It just it's the cherry on the cake here, okay? And the more you can try to be curious about this and work the idea of this into your lifestyle, the more calmer, the more peaceful, the more joyful you'll be, and the more of love you'll be engaging in, okay? And the guides are the ones in between, and they shuttle back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. They are working to build this to be a strong iron cord that is unbreakable. It's unbreakable, and the stronger you make this cord, the more you're going to be working towards peace, love and joy. The more this life soul purpose is going to come into play. Now let me come back to that, because I get questions about soul purpose in regards to, well, I'm a receptionist. Like, is that really my soul purpose? Well, hold up, my friend. You're a receptionist, which means you speak to lots of people. Lots of people, you make lots of calls, you do lots of important admin, and you could be the difference between somebody walking into that office and then speaking with you, and the face that you have and the expressions that you have and the words that you give could stay with them forever. Whether it is just you saying, you could be a receptionist for a lawyer, for example. And let's say somebody comes in really angry, you know, they need to speak to a lawyer and they want to talk to them right now. Okay, you can see their energy, yeah? Totally negative. They pulled in this negative energy, they've experienced something negative, and then suddenly they want to do something about it. They want to channel it somewhere and they want to win a case. They want the best thing. The ego is totally in the way all the time. You, as a receptionist, could be the one that completely diffuses them, helps them to find a little bit of peace, love and joy in whatever way, shape or form. And the more you connect to the idea of this star, the idea of your soul, the more it's going to come naturally to be loving, joyous and peaceful. And people can't react around that, you guys. People cannot rise to that because you're a higher vibration, or you're speaking, thinking and acting from a high vibration, a high frequency. You're not working with the ego. People's ego cannot react if the ego isn't there. So the ego will always bounce off each other. You'll have this in friendships, you'll have this in family. But if you choose to be this lighter white light energy, the ego has nowhere to go, and suddenly it begins to calm and starts to resonate at that level, because that person is peace, love and joy. They've just gone away from it. They've just forgotten about it. So lead by example. I mean, coming back to one of the previous modules, you either protect yourself from that if you're not sure what to do, you lead by example, you do nothing, okay? So you're protecting yourself or you're leading by example. And if you're leading by example, you're working at a high frequency. But just make sure the ego is not involved with that one. I'm still getting heated. This is an exciting subject. Are we liking my emoji top? Yes. Okay, so I want to come to the idea of the word enlightenment and what that means to me. And this will probably change. I just want to point this out that I'm researching into this a lot right now. And in 10 years' time, I might scrap this video and think, oh, I've reached it now. You didn't understand back then in 2017. But my understanding is you do not have to be enlightened to connect with your soul. You can connect with your soul anytime. Enlightenment, my understanding of enlightenment means that you're working in a present moment awareness. That's a really big subject, and I would rather talk about that in another module. But being in the present moment is basically completely extinguishing your ego. In a nutshell, in a very short version, present moment is you are literally living breath to breath, and you're extinguishing the ego, so the ego doesn't play. So you can sound, when you hear people talking who almost claim to be spiritually enlightened, are spiritually enlightened, give or take, they sound very monotone. So it's that sort of, remember me talking about that lack of soul purpose? But this, when you're feeling negative about this, that is the ego playing a role. Okay, that's the ego combining strongly because you're not happy and you're not connecting with the soul at all because you're feeling lost. You're feeling lost, you're totally away from that connection. However, there is a way of being spiritually enlightened where you would almost be at this monotone, but you're detached from the ego. So it doesn't actually mean, it means you are a place of peace, love and joy, but the joy wouldn't necessarily mean, oh my God, I'm like this all the time. Because actually that's swung too much the other way. So that means it's impacting their emotions on a much more excitable, joyous journey. But joy is an emotion that comes from within. Joy is not excitement. Joy is this innate happiness which connects with peace, love and joy. So people can still feel that peace, love and joy and be monotone, but not on the negative level where the ego's involved. So that's or my understanding of enlightenment so far. And the reason why it's so hard to get to this stage is because you have to detach. You have to let go. You have to release from the ego 100%. And this means a lot of things, a lot of letting go. And it's, they say it's seeing every individual on this planet as a husband or a wife. Like that's the sort of love we're talking about. And not a habitual love. It's an innate love. It's this soul level love, which is actually what our guides are trying to get us to do, because that is world peace. We're way off that right now, but we've got loads of guides and teachings who have manifested on this planet Earth to teach you about it. I could be one of them, I'm not sure. So, purpose and fulfillment, I want to come back to that monotone of feeling bad, because that's something we can all resonate with, right? And when I was saying that receptionist can lead by example, that receptionist could make the difference to that person's not only day, not only hour, life. And you can even sit here and think about examples of people who have just brushed past you in life, but you've just never forgotten them. Whether you met them for 5 minutes or whether you had an hour intense conversation, whether you had a holiday with them and never saw them again, like they are with you forever because they have had such an impact on you on a vibrational level. Could be a soul connection. You could have met them in a previous life as well. I mean, there's all these opportunities and examples, but it's a big deal. it's a pinnacle moment that I was talking about. So we're coming back to that exercise of remembering your earliest Christmas. And I use Christmas as an example because we just had Christmas, but actually what would be a really good exercise for you, and we don't have to do this live, but just write this down, but try to remember, let's say, to break this down and make it easier, I would say 2 examples as a youngster, under the age of 10, 12, 2 examples as a teenager, and maybe 3 examples as an adult, depending on how old you are. So you can pick as many examples as you want to, but it's try to think about some really big things that have happened, some really big memories in your life. And these could be people passing away, this could be a graduation, this could be somebody breaking up with you, this could have been walking in on an affair. I mean, they're like big things that you would never forget, ever. And start to write them down. And then what I want you to do, this exercise is crucial, think, if that hadn't have happened, where would I have been now? If that hadn't have happened, where would I be now? And this exercise has no place for the ego. So we're not looking for answers of, well, I don't know, because if it hadn't have happened, then I'd be way happier. If my mother hadn't have died, then of course I'd be more happy. Yep, I can see that. I can completely understand that. But it happened. And if it happened for a reason, if you chose it on a soul level, how has it helped you grow? And that's the biggest question here. So every pinnacle moment that you want to write down, so if we're going with 6 examples, so 2 as a youngster, 2 as a teenager, 2 as an adult, or 3 as an adult, and just think, well, why did I choose that for? How did I learn? How did I grow from that incident happening? This is a really powerful exercise to help you to start to connect to the other side. Even just picturing the idea of you sat down in this library with your guardian angel or with a guide or with whatever suits you, that reassures you that you've got help from the other side, from our previous module number 6, with something there that's helping you to say, yeah, that's right, you learnt this, that and the other, and now we move on, and now we upgrade. So the upgrade system on the other side, and you might think, well, why do I need to upgrade? Like, why my soul might be happy just where it is. Yeah, I think the impression I get to answer that question is there's this huge desire and understanding. I'm inverting those words, desire and understanding, because there's actually, I feel like the guides are borrowing the English language to communicate this, because words just don't fathom, but I'm going to try. So there's this desire to consistently learn and upgrade because all they want to do is help and create. And it's, again, under the big subject, under the title of peace, love and joy. They help and they create things all the time. And the higher up you are on the scale, the more you can help and create, not only yourself, but other souls. So there's these souls which get assigned, like some souls are just built to be with young children. And I've read in so many different books about these souls that, because they're so good with children's souls that may have just passed over or a bit lost or, not so sure, because sometimes that can be quite a shock to the system if the death can come quite instantly and the soul can be a bit like, ooh, okay. So there's these souls that have jobs, like apparently there's employment on the other side. I've read this, I've heard this, I've channeled this, but your job just doesn't come from a physical level on this earth. There's this beautiful job system in spirituality from spirit where they're employed, like these angels coming in to help you, employed angels. And the idea of Lorna Byrne talks about there's hundreds of thousands, millions of unemployed angels. That's when I was talking about you just have to ask. If you don't ask, they can't help you. They're floating around you and they can see ways to help you, but unless you're actually saying, actually, I need your help. That's where that prayer is really, really powerful. If you put it out there, that energy, I need help, can you help me please? Bang, then they're employed. They all come in, these unemployed angels. Emphasis on the word unemployed. You've employed them. And this is something that's really interesting to understand. Like, we as humans are created for a reason. We have this immense vibrational power about us. We can connect to the other side, and it's this beautiful help system. So when it comes to that journey of self-healing, when you really are drawing back access to this understanding. So this is what helped me when I started working with this soul level, this star, the idea of the star connecting to me, my soul. And when I'm going through something really strong and I think, well, I chose to do this, let me see the light. And when you hear that, see the light, be the light, light and love to you. Like, literally, we're talking on a soul level. So, namaste, I think I said this in another module. Last module, it was the connection to guides. Namaste means the higher good in me, the highest good in me greets the highest good in you. So it could be, AKA, my soul is saying, hey soul! It's lovely. Namaste is such a beautiful thing to say. So on this sort of soul level, when you're thinking and understanding that actually this may have happened for a reason, or it has happened for a reason, I believe module 3, this has happened for a reason. Okay, what am I going to do about it? How have I learnt through this? You change the energy in your body, in your mindset, and it has a completely different effect. I've said this before and I've read this and I really, really believe this. A whopping 90% of our physical problems, emotional problems, so physical pain in your body, 90% of it is produced via your emotions. If your emotions are out of balance, it has a way of manifesting somewhere in your body. Okay? And this is an example, for example, let's say somebody passes away in your family. It has an emotional impact on you, and then you experience back pain for the rest of your life, or shoulder pain, or a twitch in the eye, or I mean, so many physical problems happen. 90% down to emotional trauma. Okay, and it's just energy. That's all it is. It's energy. It's manifesting. You're manifesting it yourself. And then it has nowhere to go because you're not doing anything about it. You're not helping it to filter out. You're not helping to address the situation. And so it finds somewhere, it picks a muscle or picks a relevant area of the body, and it stays and it sits in there. And in a way, this is still not a bad thing. It hangs in there because it's a consistent form of communication to your brain. That's exactly how this is working on a science level. You get pain in your body, bing, it sends a message up to your brain. Your brain registers, my right knee is hurting. So the question is, what am I going to do about it? You rest, or you see a professional, or you relax, or you do some meditation, or you do PIP self-healing course. You do something about it. Whether you're cleansing it with your mind or purification, your purification there could be ensuring that the fluid is released, things like that, movement in the joint if that's what's going to help it. If it doesn't help it, then stillness and elevate. Like, is this making sense to you guys? It's about doing something about it. Your body doesn't give up on you. Your body is not your enemy. It is always trying to help you to understand, hello, there's a problem here, you need to address it. So if we're not addressing something emotionally, let's say the problem is emotional, something traumatic has happened in our lives, then potentially, this is going to sound bonkers, it could just be that you need a little bit of therapy, or you need to talk about a trauma that you went through, and the pain in your knee goes away. Sounds crazy, doesn't it? But there are just millions of stories out there where this has happened. Physical errors, physical ailments have disappeared through mental therapy because we manifest things up here. We're negative about it. We haven't let it go. We haven't addressed it. So it goes inside here. So I'm talking about releasing this, creating a new energy, and really going woo-woo, going out there to the idea of your soul, because this is the purest form of you. the highest vibration that you'll ever be. And this vibration is trying to get higher and higher and higher. It wants to learn. It wants to reach the highest point. It wants to be God. It wants to be part of creation. It is part of creation. It is part of it. So it just gets a bit lost along the way. Okay, and it's like hands up if you want to reach the ultimate peace, love and joy, the ultimate pain-free zone. And it is completely, entirely pain-free. And the more you're going to connect to that, the more these two are going to connect, the more your body is going to sit in a pain-free zone. It's going to go into that vibration, that area I was talking about where you just heal. Because that's all it wants you to do is heal and learn and grow. That's its main passion. Okay, so it doesn't matter whether you're a receptionist, it doesn't matter if you collect bins in the morning, it doesn't matter if you pick up litter in the streets, it doesn't matter if you're a lawyer, if you're a doctor, if you're a brain surgeon, if you're a hairdresser, if you're a yoga teacher, if you're a chef, it doesn't matter who you are, it doesn't matter what job role that you feel drawn to, you can never mess up because your soul is always backing you up and you have some strong way that you help people that you haven't even thought about. I read about something really lovely not long ago, and it was about the word miracles, and it was pointing out that even meeting a stranger, a complete stranger, is a miracle, depending on how you look at it. So if you just see it as, oh yeah, I bumped into somebody, didn't want to say anything. How many times have you walked past somebody and thought, I don't want to catch eye contact because I don't want them to look at me. No, and when they come across the road, you just look up there the opposite way. No, I can't be bothered to talk to them. No, I've got somewhere to be. We've all done it. I've done it. And it's so interesting that that person could be a miracle to your day. You could be a miracle to their day. You could be that receptionist at that lawyer's place. You could make the difference to their life in the space of 10 seconds. If you vibrate peace, love and joy, and your soul wouldn't want you to turn away from saying, hello, how are you, to anybody. You really think about it. If you connect to that idea, it would turn you towards a stranger and it would ask you to embrace it, so to speak. So that's the level you want to go towards. Am I right? That peace, love and joy, that's the only way forward. That's the way towards healing. You know, rejection of a stranger or pushing something aside or judgment, that is ego. That's that filter screen. That isn't you. It's not you. So you've got to break away. You've got to rub down that screen and see the light through it. See the light that actually that complete stranger could make a complete difference to your day. Complete difference. They could lift your mood. They could be a little guide. You could be their guide. It makes a difference, right? So purpose and fulfillment, try to embrace where you're at right now. And where you're at right now, you might actually be thinking, holy moly, I really need to leave this job. And that's cool, you know, that happens. It really does. If you're really connecting to that soul and you feel that connection that actually it's better that you don't work here, why don't you try and do this? And when this comes along, the universe will do its best to present these opportunities for you. This is when adverts fly up on the screen. This is when friends say, oh, do you know who's looking to employ somebody? Yada, yada, yada. Like, the universe is constantly throwing you opportunities to what it thinks is going to serve you best and what your soul thinks is going to serve you. It's all there. That's what all those signs are about. It's trying to guide you onto the path. It's just whether you pick up the phone. The signs are calling. Are you picking up the phone? Okay. Oh my goodness, you guys. I've spoken for a full hour. I can't believe where this time has gone. I'm so excited. This is really, really good. Okay, I tell you what. Go ahead with the exercise of the pinnacle moments in your life, 2 from a childhood, 2 from adolescence, from your teenage years, and 2 to 3 from an adult. And please work into those 2 questions. Well, if I chose this to happen, why did it happen? And how did it make me grow? Okay, so why would I have chosen this? What have I learnt? How has it made me grow? Make sure you're putting those questions down because this is a really, really good exercise to do. Let's do that soul meditation. It's only going to be good. Let's break into that now. Okay. Find your meditation seat. Ooh. Fasten your seatbelts, guys. This is a big one. Okay. Seat bones. Tick. Check. In the seat or on the floor. Legs are either crossed or out in front, or you're sat in a chair. Be comfortable. But let's find a tall spine. I can really feel somebody saying they need a tall spine here. So if you're going to imagine, oh, here we go, thank you. Here it comes. Okay, your seat bones are going to be the representation of your physical connection to planet Earth. Okay, this is who you are, and this is your seat bones, your grounding chakra, the lowest chakra on your system, okay? Your head and your heart are rising up to the level of God, or the golden white light, or the inner divine, or however you want to label it, that high vibration frequency. Your soul is going to be somewhere here. Here, I'm feeling it is, okay? This bright, lovely star is just this connection, okay? So that's your visual that we're going to work with. So you're rising up in this meditation, and your soul is trying to pull you up and say, hey, how's it going? Nice to finally meet you. And I'm going to take you into that library. Oh, okay. Palms up if that works for you. This is a really nice receiving angle. Tall spine. Lengthy breaths. Let that inhale and exhale carry you through here. And they say the breath is the doorway to your soul. If you really want to find that doorway, it's the pause in between the inhale and exhale. A deep, profound amount of peace there. It's brief. Can you feel that it's brief? The pause between your inhale and exhale. So I'm asking you to lengthen your inhale and exhale. The eyes close here. Lovely, tall, straight spine. And just let that inhale, exhale carry you through for a couple more breaths here. With every exhalation, you sink down a little deeper into your seat bones. And that breath is just carrying you through into a place of relaxation. Noticing that fine pause between the inhale and exhale. Just notice it, that's all for now. Draw your awareness, your attention all the way down to your bottom, to your seat bones, to your base chakra, the root chakra. Becoming aware of the areas of your body touching the earth. Allowing these areas to get deeper and heavier. This is you on a physical level. Heavy and grounded. A steady vibration, nice and low. That is your physical body. Grounding ourselves down. Now become aware of this shining star up and behind you. This is the representation of your soul outside of your physical body, in outer space, so to speak. Zoom your awareness away from planet Earth. Leave your seat bones firmly on the earth, but now let your imagination lift up and out. You're connecting to your third eye now, your intuition. This is the sixth doorway to your energy system, also known as your sixth sense. We've gone beyond the physical body. You're just aware of this star, as if you were sat on this star looking at planet Earth. Continue with your breath, inhale and exhale, noticing that calm, fresh point in between the inhale and exhale. Welcome to outer body awareness. Keep relaxing into your breath. And look at planet Earth. Look at it slowly rotating in the solar system. How it carries on. How it has clock time. A time that physical human beings use. There is no time when connecting to the soul, so you're just observing and watching it here. Draw your awareness to a lightness above, surrounding, everywhere, anywhere, the idea of God or creation or light. This higher understanding that is nothing but love, peace and joy. This created you. This created your soul. And you feel yourself naturally drawn to be with it, the place where you were born. This could be heaven. As you become a little more comfortable sat on your star, in your soul, I now open the opportunity for you to transform, to meet your library. So as you're sat on your star, now look at it. Dive deep inside your star, inside your soul. You manifest as a being representing yourself as a soul. And inside this deep awareness is a beautiful library. Files upon files, books upon books, knowledge upon knowledge. Everything there is for you. And you can access this anytime. Look how many times you've lived, you've breathed as different versions of yourself. Upon galaxy upon galaxy. Look how long you've been around for. And as you look in awe of this beautiful library, expanding library, a different dimension. On the middle, on a table, is an open, glowing, sparkling book. There's a quill or a pen writing in it. This book represents your physical life right now. You can choose to flick back through the pages. Written in bold are those moments you will work towards in the next exercise. Those pinnacle moments. There are blank pages if you flip forward in the book, but there are also written pages as you flip forward. And as you become curious, looking at this book, you feel a presence with you, calming, nurturing, understanding. The presence with you is your guardian angel. The presence with you is the one that helped you write this story and will continue to help you for eternity. This presence with you puts its hands or its warmth on your hand or your warmth, as if to say, I understand, I am with you, and I will help you for eternity. You can come and visit this place anytime you choose. If you wish to learn from your past, come here. If you wish to learn as you move forward, then listen. I am here. I love you. Breathe. Re-establish your awareness. Seat bones connecting to planet Earth. Head and heart rising up to your soul and up to the divine light consistently. Be that connection. Be that connection always. Keep the breath smooth and consistent. Still notice the pause in between the inhale and exhale. And we will slowly begin to journey back to planet Earth, back to your root chakra. Feel yourself becoming more heavy. Enjoy that place on top of your star, your soul, and ride the cord back to planet Earth, like a zip line. Make it fun. Come back to the here and the now, with a little more understanding about you, growing and moving forward, enlightening yourself. The cord that you're whizzing along has become stronger. You notice a golden thread intertwines, binding you to your soul forever now, in this lifetime. Keep slowing the breath. Come back to where you are now. Gently notice your surroundings. Deepen your breath into your body. And softly begin to open your eyes. And we finish our meditation with Namaste. Bring the palms together. Bring them into your heart. Bow your head down and say the words in your mind or out of your mouth. Namaste. The higher good in me honors and meets the higher good in you. Okay, so that concludes our library meditation. That concludes our journey in this self-healing course, our soul journey into healing. I am so excited. That was beautiful channeling that came through there. So I hope that really, really helped you. So we've reached the end of this, and you have all this access. You have so much more understanding of the blossoming bud that you are, reaching the flower at the top, your highest vibration and frequency. It's all there for you. This healing is there for you on a physical, emotional, mental, spiritual level. Big emphasis on the spiritual level. It heals everything, absolutely everything. So much love, so much light, so much healing to you guys, so much joy and peace. I think you're all just getting this now. Hopefully I've made a difference to your life, and hopefully you will make even more of a difference to your life right now. Peace, love and joy. Namaste. Love you so much, and I will see you soon. Take care.